Hello everyone, I'm back with another video, a long-awaited video. I had this deck for quite a while, but I just never got around to recording it. I was too busy doing live chats, I guess. I honestly could have recorded this a long time ago. But anyways, this is the revised New Art Tarot cards, but it used to be known as, I believe this was its original title, but then when US Games released it, it was known as the Knapp-Hall Tarot by J. Augustus Knapp, I believe is his name, and then Manly P. Hall was the designer, author, and Knapp was the artist. And Manly P. Hall is kind of no, what am I saying? He's more commonly known for his book, which... Oh, I'm dropping stuff. I should throw that away. Anyways, for his book, The Secret Teachings of All Ages. This is the reader's edition. There's different editions, but I think this is the more, I guess, like the more easily readable. I've seen some editions that look nice, that look really nice, but this is the one that's readily available, much cheaper, and honestly it has a lot in here. It goes over alchemy, hermeticism, Kabbalah, I think astrology, the tarot, a whole lot of stuff here, and it is illustrated, by by Knapp again, by Knapp-Hall, by Augustus Knapp. Let me see if it says his full name, because I hate saying, it says J. Augustus Knapp. He drew this painting here, and there's full color pictures here as well. Look at that, just beautiful. So yeah, but the art though, these are much clearer and much more detailed, I guess, compared to the tarot cards that he made. The tarot cards are much more, how would I say it? I don't know, but it's it's not so smooth, I would say, compared to his other drawings here. But I love his art though. I wonder if there's more of it, but Knapp is famous for drawing drawings like this, hermetic and esoteric drawings and all that. Anyways, so yeah, so that brings us to the tarot. This is very, what can I relate it to? I don't know, but it came out in 1929, I believe. So it's kind of interesting. It came out 10 years after The Waite Smith. Or 20 years after? 20 years after, because I believe it was 1909 that it was first made. But this one came out 1929, I believe, or 1928. No, 1928 was Secret Teachings of All Ages. This was... yeah, the Knapp-Hall deck, originally published in 1929. So, honestly, kind of a bad year to get this published, Great Depression and all that hit it. So yeah. Anyways, they're saying, that they kind of kept it as true to the original as possible. But I believe they changed the backs, which I do like the backs, but I wish they did change a few things. Like, they changed... maybe this graph design going on here, I don't know, but I wish but this though, I do like the center design, because I do know that it has importance to them. It's in the Paul Foster Case book, it's very important to them. It's a very important symbol. But yeah, anyways, cardstock, I like the cardstock, but it is cut weirdly, so after you shuffle it, the cards are going to be a little uneven, but other than that, there's really no problem with the shuffle. The lamination, I really like the lamination. It's very glidey, I will say. A little bit, as they say, like that Schiffer stickiness. I call it the suction vacuum of the lamination, but it's not too bad to where you can't overhand it smoothly. So yeah, you can see it, So yeah. Anyways, on to the art. It looks very grainy, I will say that, his art. This card is very dark, but anyways, but it's still nice. I actually like it. It's a different interpretation. I do like, Anyways, the Fool is facing this way, which is very different from what I've seen in other decks. Usually he faces that direction. You have the alligator here, the dog, his bag, you know, but he's blindfolded too. Kind of reminds me of Sevenfold Mystery with the blindfold. Alligator reminds me of like Thoth and those Golden Dawn decks. The dog is, you know, iconic to, you know, the Fool. So yeah, next we have the Magician. You have the wand, the caduceus here. You have the coins, the cup, and the sword and the wand here. You know, very Marseille meets Golden Dawn. You have the crown. That's a Kabbalistic symbol, I believe. You can see the line going through there. That's the path that the magician is associated with. No, he's associated with the Aleph. That's also another thing that's very different. He associates the Hebrew alphabet to the French the French tradition. So usually with Golden Dawn, they give Aleph to the Fool, and then Beth, which is this one to here, and Shin to Judgment. And that is a whole video onto itself. So yeah, here we have the High Priestess. I do like how she's kind of like her face is hidden. It kind of reminds me of the Worth Tarot. The two keys here, the silver and the golden key. That's something very interesting that, you know, that has significance to it. The two crowns again. Interesting. Maybe with Kether and then to the path right below it. Maybe, I don't know. I might read too much into that and go into a completely wrong direction. Here we have the Empress, La Imperatrice. You know, what's interesting is that the moon here isn't found in the Rider-Waite-Smith, but it is seen in the High Priestess in the Rider-Waite-Smith. But here it's usually seen with the Thoth and other traditions. We have the eagle as well. This radiant sun behind her. I want to say I've seen that somewhere else, but I'll have to look. Here you have the Emperor, the cube here that he sits in. Very reminiscent of the Knapp-Hall, not the Knapp-Hall, the Paul Foster Case tarot, which is the BOTA tarot. Let me see. I have a good image of the Emperor here, if I can find it. Right here. Very, very similar to this one, as you can see. Different helmets and all that, but for the most part, you see a lot of similarities. But instead, he's actually in a garden rather than like a mountain range. This one I think this is a blend of the Rider-Waite-Smith with this one, but I think this one I think this is the youngest compared to Rider-Waite-Smith in this one, and the Knapp-Hall. You just stop calling it this one and just call it what it is. Anyways, this is going to be a really long video if I keep on going on like this. But I just can't, I'm just so fascinated. Here we have the Hierophant. Interesting how it's red and black. Anyways, let me see what else is here. There's, I like how there's that similarity to the High Priestess. I do like that with, yeah. Anyways, moving on. Here we have the Lovers, which, you know, we have the crossroads here. Where else did I see this design? I want to say maybe Attila? No, I'll find it later. But yeah, you have the two different, the Virtuous and the oh my gosh, what's the other term for her? The Lustful? I'm just kidding. No, but yeah, yeah. Moving on. That's again video unto itself. Here we have the Chariot. Do you like the winged disc here? Very interesting. Very, very interesting. Here we have the Justice card. And Justice is 8. And given the letter Cheth, I believe? I wonder if that's the same. No, I can't. I'm probably wrong right there. Here you have the Hermit, the Serpent there, the Lantern covered, the veiled, or the covered lantern. That's significant. I do like to see the lantern to be covered and hidden, you know, that to some extent, but you know, it's not something that'll make or break a deck, you know. Here we have the Wheel of Fortune. Very different. Force or Strength. Here she actually looks like she's forcing open the mouth of the lion, but it doesn't seem to, like, you know, it doesn't seem like it's too forceful, like she's not really trying, you know, but like her hands are just like guiding the mouth open. Here we have the Hanged Man. And again, these symbols here are very important to that. But I need to read that one book that comes with it. It's not by Hall, but it is by someone else, by Yolanda, I believe is her name, Dr. Yolanda something. Here we have Death, Temperance, silver and gold, the yin and yang, the sun on her head. Interesting. She looks very much like the woman on the Lovers, right there. I wonder. Well, I wonder if you can hear my parents. Probably. They're trying to find a movie. Anyways, here we have the devil. What's interesting is we have Yod He Vau He, the name of God, but reversed. The candle and the lamp. Mercury right there. What else? Yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot. Here we have the tower, but it's titled The Fire from Heaven, I believe, or something like that. Or Fire from the Sky. You know, something like that. And this hand holding the lightning bolts. That's significant in other decks as well. Here we have the star. The butterfly. Again, the silver and gold. Pitchers, jugs, vases, pouring water, both into the water, where usually you see one pouring into land and then flowing into the river or the pond. I think they should have moved this like maybe right here, because it kind of covers all the stars here, but you can still see it. But again, personal preference. Here we have the moon, the sun, no creepy babies here. Oh my gosh, imagine having to count all those little things, because sometimes, you know, the numbers, they signify something. You know, how many little flames that they have there. Here we have Judgement, traditional Judgement, you know, with the people coming out of the graves. Here we have the world, which is given 21 and 22, which is because sometimes people will put the Fool, making the Fool the 21st and the world the 22nd, right between Judgement and the world, which is why the Shin letter is there. But what's interesting here is that the elements and the astrological associations are kind of mixed around. So we have the coin for Earth for the Lion of Leo. Then we have the Sword of Air for Taurus. The wand is given to the man, or they would call it the angel, or Aquarius here. And then you have the cup for Scorpio, which is the only one that matches up, you know. And then the colors also are kind of switched around. So yeah, and then we go into the minors, which are not illustrated, but they are designed differently than your traditional Marseille. Sorry, I dropped my cards and they slid under like my furniture, and so some of them might be a little dirty, but I'm going through and I'm trying to clean them as I see them, like that little stain that I got right there. But here we have the Ace of Wands with the sun, this geometric sign, the sun and the triangle right there. Serpent, again, like I don't know what the significance of these are. So yeah, but they're crossed here. The threes, here we have a triangle, which could mean like the completion of the first supernal, I believe, which is Kether, Hokma, and Bina, or Hokma and Bina. I can't remember which one goes where. Still learning, still learning. And then we go into the four, the square, the stability. Well, actually, it would kind of go like this, you know. Anyways, with the T. Then we have the 5, making a pentacle, and I guess that could be like the stone tablets from, you know, the Book of Exodus. Then here we have there's like 4 other cards with a winged disc on here, but it looks like a golden snitch, though it's white. With the 6 with the 3 triangles there. Then we have the 7, stability and growth. That's very interesting to see here. Usually they just do like the X's, the 6 wands crossing each other, and then one in the center. The 8, the pentagram, and that we have a peacock feather, I believe is what it is here, or it could be an ostrich feather, but I'm kind of seeing it as a peacock because it kind of has that little eye design there. So yeah, the pillar. And you can honestly like maybe like use those little things as that. Like here we have the Peacock Feather, the pillar, you know, I kind of, my brain wants to kind of make that like Lenormand, you know, the pillar, the key, you know, with the 10 of Wands. And then here we have the quartz. Now the quartz are different, a little different. So we have the servant, no, well, it's not called the servant, but we have here the slave. What's interesting is that here, this one doesn't have any chains on him, but all the other ones do. But yeah. Then we have the warrior, which I do like, but you know, for now I'm gonna view the slaves as servants. Then we have the queen, which has the letter G, which I want to say the little white book will explains it somewhere, but I need to see where else. And then we have the king, traditional. So yeah, he has a scroll. There's a lot going on. These quartz are very, very interesting. I do like them. So yeah, so now we have the ace with the rosy cross in the center and the crown. Again, the crown of Keter. Here we have an eye for the 2. And we have the, I believe it's called the Vesica Pisces, I think is what it is. With this symbol here throughout all of them, where the wands have the upward triangle. And we have this symbol for the sun, but it's like a drop coming from, or going into it. I don't know. I'll have to look into it. Anyways, here we have an H, but it's also like J's. So it might be Jehovah or something. Maybe like the name of God into one. I could be wrong. I might be reading into that weirdly. Here we have the jewel, which the only significance of the jewel is kind of like from the Raziel Tarot, where Adam and Eve are receiving a jewel, which holds like which holds like information or sacred knowledge or something like that. Then we have another serpent here, but it's not coiled, it's unwound, and the 5 of Cups here. Then we have a king, or an emperor type figure with the 6. I know these have like, I know they're like, each Sephiroth has like a symbol associated to them, and I wonder if these are in there. I'll have to see, I'll have to see. Maybe, no, I'll see right now. Here we have the 4-winged disc, which kind of makes me think of maybe it's a tetramorph, or because I know some angels are described as wheels with eyes and wings all over them. You can, if you look them up, you'll see some weird things there. But that's what I get here, but different. And then again here, another winged disc, and then this is the weirdest one. What is this? Like the hands receiving, maybe? I don't know. But it's also like a weird square there. Weird. Then we have the page. I want to say I've seen this where, I think it's in the Marseille, where you see the page and like the scarf thing is covering the cup. But here you totally see the chains of slavery. And then we have the tree knocked over, the broken tree. Interesting. And then the sun. Here we have the Swastika, which at the time I highly doubt was implied for, you know, for Nazi propaganda. I believe they kept it to the traditional Eastern symbolism connected to the swastika here. Yeah. Then we have the Grail here. I think he's supposed to, most likely the Grail Knight. What's interesting is he's holding a glove or a gauntlet in his one hand, and his bare hand is holding the sword with a belt over there. That's weird how it's like those little specific design choices, you know, the rose and then the flaming cup. Interesting. Beautiful, beautiful Queen and King here. And I can't tell if that's Yod or Val. I'm hoping it's Val, but maybe they designed it that way to be like, oh, either or. Now here we have the swords. The sword has the moon on it, which kind of gives it like an aquatic sense, which is weird. And then all the swords have these little wands here, so yeah. So I'm gonna, you know, running out of time here, so I'm gonna cut and then, yeah. Alright, so yeah, now we have, moving on to the sword suit. Here we have the spade symbol here down below. Then we have a trumpet with this T symbol, which is seen in the Emperor card, which And you can see right here that T symbol scepter thing that he always has, what you see in the Rider-Waite-Smith. That's in every single card here. I don't know why. Here we have the eye, the scales, which I think if you can't read too much into it, you can see the little symbols as maybe like a fortune tellery type thing. You have the scales and the eye or something, you know. We have the whip here. I think, you know, you can do something with that, I feel. You have the crossed scepters, we'll call them, but they're swords. So what is the truth? We have the rose, kind of making like a weird caduceus shape here, but I think one of them is a, well, here we go, the caduceus. I think it's starting to form the caduceus or evolve into it. I do like the positioning of the swords here, very different. Then we have the moon here with 9, which actually makes sense because 9 associated to Yesod, and Yesod is associated to the planet of the moon, or the moon. It's not a planet, but the moon. Here we, again, the serpent, but we have maybe a symbol for Mars with a 10. Huh. Anyways, moving on. Page, again, in chains, holding a sword. Huh. Yeah. And what's weird is that all the servants, squires, or pages, or the slaves, have cubes in them, which, you know, because I think it's like the cross, the rosary cross that you usually see in Thoth, folds into a cube, and it's significant to that. The cube is a very significant symbol there. And it's also significant because you see it in the Emperor. He's seated not on a throne, but on the cube. And I believe, again, Paul Foster Case, keeping it real, spilling the tea, you know, that other people won't. Let me see if I can find it. I think it's in the Emperor. Again, the Emperor, in this book, that he explains this. Here we go. And that is what he's seated on. He's seated on everything. I think I have something coming in the... Oh no, I don't. I think it's in the mailbox. I should have something in the mail. Not a deck or anything, but a book. Anyways, here we have the warrior. The crossed one. Interesting. Again, there's like a little tiny one crossing it. Here we have the queen. I can't remember what the G stands for. Maybe I should pause and look it up. I'm going to pause and look it up. Alright, so I did a bit of... I actually read it, and I realized, okay, so pretty much it's supposed to look like a G and a Q, and pretty much what it's saying is that, here it says, the letter G for queen is archaic, but quite proper. In older times, the G and Q were similar in shape, and for that matter, we still are. If these two letters are compared, there is an interesting detail for the consideration for numerologists, and they're related to G is 7 and Q is 17, I guess, but I'm sure there might be some other ways to look into it as well. And that's very interesting. We have the chariot and the star with that. But moving on though. So yeah, and I also read a little bit more, and it explained that these are more ankhs. They're supposed to be ankhs and not that T scepter thing, because I know it's like the one that the Emperor holds in the Rider-Waite-Smith is different from an ankh. And usually the ankhs aren't so rounded, they're much more ovular rather than what we have here. Anyways, here we have the king. I'm just like looking at him. I thought maybe I might see something, but no. And then we have the coin suit. So yeah, here we have the ace again, the crown of Keter. I can't remember what that symbol's supposed to be. I'll have to get back to it. But each one now is associated more to the astrological planetary stuff. So here, the 2 relates to Hokmah, I believe. The second one, Binah or Hokmah, I can't remember which one it is. The second Sephiroth that is associated with the zodiac. And here we have the star separated, encircled into a ring, separated into 12 parts. So yeah. Then we have 3, which is Saturn. It's very interesting because Saturn is usually given to the world. Or no, Saturn is given, yeah, to the world card and is associated with Malkut. So again, these little different switches are why these people separate and make their own little societies away from the Golden Dawn. Here we have Jupiter for the 4, which actually kind of makes sense because for the Emperor, Jupiter being Zeus, king of the gods, emperor, ruler, that type of thing. And also it looks like a number 4. And you do see the symbol, the number 4, drawn on older Marseille decks as well, which, anyways, moving on. 5, which is associated with the planet Mars. 6, which is Tiferet, the sun. And again, they're all in cubes again, which makes sense for Earth, because the pages are associated with the final He, which is Earth. And the cube, again, that stability of the cube. Then we have Venus for 7. Again, you can also see into like what these coins are, but usually they're just people's head. But here we have a knight and a cross. Then we have the 8, Mercury. And then we have 9, again, Yesod with the moon. Double-headed eagle, the rosy cross. I wonder if the 2 horses might mean something right here. Maybe a chariot reference to Neoplatonism. Maybe. Who knows? Then we have the 10 with the crown. We have the horse. We have a lot of people. We have Mars. Maybe these are supposed to be Greek gods. We have the scarab beetle. I wonder. Then we have the servant or the slave of coins. This actually kind of reminds me a lot of the page of coins or pentacles in the Rider-Waite-Smith, how he's kind of holding up that coin that's kind of like floating off the tips of his fingers. Here he's kind of reaching and wanting for something, but he's kind of being held back by the material. And then we have the spiritual maybe up there, because that's not, you know, coins don't do that. Maybe it's the sun, maybe it's the light, you know. Anyways, you can read into that as much as you want. Then we have the warrior of coins. Interesting, we have the Ankh again. Then we have the queen of coins. And the king. What's interesting is that you do see like a difference here. You see how he has his chest similar to the slave, but he's not chained to it. You know, the mastery of the material. So yeah. Yeah. What else can I say about it? There is a book you can get this in, oh right, where you can find this deck. This deck, oh, shuffles nicely. This deck is a little tricky to find because you can't find it on Amazon, though honestly it should be on Amazon. And available to anyone that wants to study deeper into these types of decks. I think it's like a good alternate to the Rider-Waite-Smith. It's kind of like a blend of Marseille to Rider-Waite-Smith. It's different. But anyways, you can find this at the Philosophical Research Society in Los Angeles, California. You can go on their website and you can order it through there. They also have a bunch of Manly P. Hall, right? Yeah, Manly P. Halls. I keep confusing Paul Foster Case and Manly P. Hall, but you can find a lot of his books on there. You can find a lot of stuff on there available, but yeah, I'm not sure if you can. When I ordered it, I tried to get that book by Yolanda, Dr. Yolanda, whatever, but you know, I'm just gonna have to break down and get it off of Amazon, which you can find on the book on Amazon. It's like yellow, and you can, and yeah. But anyways. Thank you, Tarot Closet, first of all, for reminding me about this deck. And I'm like, oh, that's right, you can find this here. It's like, I want to say it's like around $30, $35, and that's without shipping. So, yeah, keep that in mind. I wonder how many of these I can fit in here. Let's see. Oh, I think I can fit one more. Yeah, I can fit 10, I think. Nope. Nope, still too long. Yeah. Yeah, and I do like how, even though you do have these borders, the minors are like plain white, and so it kind of makes it connected, kind of, you know? I do like how that looks. So yeah, I don't know how thick these cards are, but I can't really compare it to anything else in terms of card stock. But yeah, I really do like this deck. And also, what is also amazing is the little key things on the sides. You can find the cards that you're looking for much easier, or you can, you know, use them for gameplay much more easily, you know. So yeah, again, a very, very beautiful deck. And also you will notice that the inking does look like it bleeds into other stuff, like you can see it here in the Magician's hair, right there, but they purposefully did that to keep it, you know, the artwork how it was originally printed. And they intentionally also put this lamination, which I am actually happy with. Sometimes lamination is just too glossy and it's just too ugh. But here they did this for protection, obviously, and I do feel comfortable shuffling this deck, you know. Some decks you just don't feel comfortable ruffle shuffling. This one, I do. This one feels like it'll be a good workhorse type deck, you know. So yeah. Let's see what fell out. Oh, yeah, of course you would. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. I wonder what else there is I have to say about it, because this is a very interesting deck. But yeah, that's all I have to say about it. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys when I do a video on the El Gran Tarot Esotérico, which will probably be today. Yeah, anyways, hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you guys later. Bye! Alright, so I forgot one more thing on this deck. And I did it with, I think I did it with the Carnival at the End of the World. I forgot to compare the sizes, which here's standard Rider-Waite-Smith. Here's this one. It's pretty much the same width, but just much shorter than that. So yeah, that's the last thing I wanted to add. Hope you all enjoy, and I'll see you guys later. For now, for real this time. Bye.